A few moments later.
I have a presentation to do.
Hi everyone, today we would like to present to you Undi-18 and its beneficial impact to the youth of Malaysia.
After the regime transition, political consensus on constitutional change was difficult to reach. In Malaysia, both the Dewan Rakyat and Dewan Negara voted in July 2019 to reduce the national voting age from 21 to 18. The recent reduction in the voting age in Malaysia from 21 to 18-year-old will result in an increase of nearly 19% of new voters in the next election, which must be held in 2023 if it really happens.
Moving on to methodology. Our primary data is case review via Google Form. All questions asked are brief and straight, so it is easy to understand and they can answer them well. Next, we use articles and journals from the internet as our secondary data. They are from the experts of the field. Hence, we could use their opinions and arguments to have a deep understanding on our topic to complete our research study.
Undi-18 start when the Cabinet has agreed to the proposal to amend Article 119, which Federal Constitution to Parliament changed the voting age from 21 to 18-year-old. The Cabinet agreed that the bill to amend Article 119 of the Federal Constitution to be tabled at the second session, second term of the 14th Parliament from 1 to 18 July 2019. Next, the meeting of the Youth Special Committee agreed to implement lowering the voting age while taking into consideration the related issue. The Cabinet agreed that the bill to amend Article 119 of the Federal Constitution be tabled at the second session, which is second term of the 14th Parliament from 1 to 18 July 2019. The Cabinet has agreed that the bill to amend Article 119 to be of the Federal Constitution be tabled at the second meeting session. Undi-18 will pass the upper house of the representative Dewan Negara with unanimous 47 votes. Undi-18 bill received royal assent by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong of Malaysia, King Sultan Abdullah Ahmad Shah. And lastly, Undi-18 was gazetted into law. However, automatic voter registration and the 18-year-old voting age have yet to be fully incorporated into federal law. According to Election Commission EC Deputy Chairman Azmi Sharom, Malaysia plans to lower the voting age to 18 and implement its automatic voter registration AVR scheme by July of this year. The constitutional amendment for automatic voter registration AVR, which lower the voting age to 18 and makes 18 the minimum age for Malaysian citizens to run for public office, was unanimously passed by the Parliament on July 19, 2019. The new electoral laws were scheduled to be in effect in July, a month before the country's state of emergency ended. If the pandemic is under control and the emergency time is over, Mr. Muhyiddin has vowed to dissolve Parliament and call an election.
Planning to implement Undi-18. Undi-18 will not be implemented in September of next year because of the Movement Control Order. But they have discussed about the issue that concern the Election Commission planning and initial preparation. They hope to introduce automatic voter registration and Undi-18 after 1 September 2022. Laws following the voting age. First, the majority of countries around the world have established an 18 years old voting age. Secondly, the Adult Age Act of 1971 places the adult age at 18 years old, and 70% of Malaysian population is between the age of 15 and 64. Next, the Malaysian Youth Policy also defines youth as being between the age of 15 and 30. Last but not least, individuals above the age of 18 years old are now allowed to marry.
Now, moving on to the benefits of youth political participation in Malaysia. Youths of our nation are often referred to as future leaders and are considered to be rays of hope. However, the youths of our country often find themselves being marginalized from mainstream politics and any form of decision-making related to the state of the country. A prime example of this is Malaysia's youth representation in the parliament. A segment of the older generation fail to understand that there is more to politics than simply the rights to vote during elections. Electoral politics is one of many different ways of being involved in politics. But if we broaden our perspective of political participation, we would realize that there has been a huge growth in non-institutionalized forms of political engagement by youths, such as social campaigns, protests, demonstration, and utilization of social media platforms to speak out about social issues. Some of the benefits of youth political participation in Malaysia includes higher chances of influencing the election outcome, a more politically educated and socially aware community, and economic and social development throughout the country. Firstly, higher chances of influencing the election outcome. While electoral politics is not the only form of politics, it still makes up one of the biggest portions of politics. This is because elections are a fundamental contribution to a democratic nation like Malaysia, where it enables voters to pick their leaders and to further hold them accountable for their actions and performance in office. The younger generation believe that they have the power to create change. Due to their interest and enthusiasm in bringing change and being involved in the political state of the country, young people are a great influence on the election outcome. Moving on, allowing youths to participate in politics would create a more politically educated and socially aware community. One of the effects of stopping young people from participating in politics is that they no longer feel the need to stay updated with the latest political news. Since they have no say in the system, they no longer see the relevance of staying aware of the political development of their country, which is understandable. Why would an engineering student study the syllabus of a medical student when it has nothing to do with them? Following this logic, allowing youths to participate in politics would cause them to start getting indirectly involved in politics. For example, learning about the social injustice that takes place in their country and staying updated with the latest political development of their nation. This way, the youths would be educated regarding the social and political state of their country. Lastly, youth political participation would foster economic and social development. Youths all around the country have great concerns regarding the security of their futures because of high youth unemployment rates, low starting salaries for fresh graduates, and high living costs. Creating an environment with passionate youths who are politically conscious could potentially bring about a boost in economic and social development. With the active participation of youth in politics, many different sectors all around the country would undergo development, leading to an increase in social and economic growth, such as an increase in the real GDP of the country.
Based on the finding, the age of 18
has already been declared as an adult who can manage their life by themselves. Thus, the effect that can be brought after the implementation of Undi-18 is the issue that can be emphasized at all age level. If we, the youth, keep on cooperating by peacefully joining the political discussion, we may resolve all the issues in all age level without means the problem probably can be solved in short term. In addition, these days most of the youth are well educated and knowledgeable. It can be seen on how many people among the youth really are mature enough and skillful at leadership, how committed they were when they choose to spend plenty of their personal time to join the leadership programs. At the other side, in order to fulfill our country's peace in practicing democracy, there are many pros and cons that we need to think of. We have to critically consider that if Undi-18 is being implemented in our country, one of the biggest impact is on the election result PRU. It is because most of the election result may stay to be the same even if it's already different election years. Moreover, attracting young thinkers into politics can help our country to produce fresh ideology with the youth thought and opinions. This is said so because the Z genes are growing in a different circumstance comparing to the old generation. Their ideas and thought may sound fresher comparing to the old politicians. Today's youth have been more educated and well-mannered by their own self and can make the crucial decisions. Undi-18 also organized the leadership program for the youth. This can be one of the platforms for them to be trained on how to be an intelligent and rational leader for the upcoming days. Changing our perspective on the negative side, it is actually worrying seeing how adults see the youth nowadays and how youth are incapable to participate in voting for election. This is because they think the youth tend to be influenced easily whether by friends or other people around them. This thought will be even more troubling if this is happening because it can cause problems to the young voter as he or she is considered as not to be serious in determining the leaders and the future of the country. Furthermore, the majority of the youth didn't have the basic knowledge and do not interest of taking part in political or any current issue in Malaysia, which this will cause their negligence of them to the country. Based on these circumstances, if Undi-18 is being implemented, it will affect the backside of the country for not taking serious of the political issues.
Various efforts have been given by various parties, including the youth themselves, in supporting this bill. The first one, the political party and the opposition themselves requested a timeline be given by the government and the Election Commission for the conduct of the referendum at the age of 18. The youth chief, Dato' Dr. Ashraf Wajdi has personally raised the issue with the Election Commission to ensure that there is no more negative perception as if there is an attempt to thwart the bipartisan agenda in Parliament. In addition, Tun Dr. Mahathir also expressed his feelings. He said that young Malaysians also have the right to choose a government that suits their tastes as citizens while only 18 years old later. Second, the Associate Trainer AAT program is a single project from APR, Academy of Election, and inspired by Director of APR, Mr. Hassanul Ishraf bin Naim. The main purpose of this program is to create a high-quality and credible speakers to work with APR throughout the country. It is hoped that by holding this program, the APR will be able to disseminate more information on the Malaysian election, especially among the youth as the main target with the implementation of the Ballot Bill Act. Third, voter education program that have been introduced by the Academy of Election APR. This program is an effort by the Election Commission EC to implement a constitutional amendment to the bill that allows voting at the age of 18 years. The estimated group for this program is young voters. The youth will learn new things that related with the electoral system and be given exposure to the electoral voting process. Therefore, youth will be know more about the basic knowledge of electoral process and create an open-minded youth that believe with the electoral system in Malaysia. Fourth, a protest rally was held in front of the Parliament building in Kuala Lumpur on March 27, 2021. It was organized by 200 youth together with NGO of non-governmental organization and opposition political party. The protest rally was to defend the implementation of the vote at the age of 18 and was implemented as soon as possible. The youth demanded that the government restore their right voices and vote that have been neglected. For them, the constitutional amendment to have the right to vote at the age of 18 is not a privilege for young people, but a right that should be given to them.
Analysis and finding. Based on Google Form, we managed to collect 70 responses. There are 54 people agreed for the implementation of Undi-18, while the other 16 did not. Those who agreed said that the youth also need to be heard, as they are the future leaders of our country. They are also capable to make a wise choice for their own government. While those who didn't agree with it said that not all youth are mature enough to participate in such big events like election, and they may be manipulated by the politicians to have their vote. When they were asked either they are ready or not to participate in the election, we got the same number of people, which is 54 people chose ready and 16 did not ready. We also found that the youth are aware and have a basic knowledge about political parties that exist in Malaysia. They mostly chose political parties that had joined the latest election like UMNO, PAS, DAP, Pakatan Harapan dan Parti Keadilan Rakyat. However, there's only 37 respondents who know about our electoral system, which is first past the post system. To sum up, the youth need to go